You know, I was worried when I first put this lip gloss on that it was too light for a situation, but now I've had this look on long enough that I'm feeling myself too much to change anything about it. So I'm keeping this lip gloss on, is what I'm getting at. Hey, today we are talking about Best in Beauty 2021. In my opinion, this is my favorites from the year 2021. I don't want to be too redundant, so just know I had a lot of makeup favorites this year that were favorites that have been favorites of mine for years, or even just from 2020 that kind of carried over into this year. I think that kind of goes without saying. I just want to be clear, this isn't a full comprehensive list because there are a lot of products in my collection that I just really love and have loved for a long time, but I want to keep this video focused on products that either came out this year or that I discovered, that I got to try out for the first time this year and just kind of fell in love with. There are a lot of products that I tried this year that I liked but didn't quite love, and so that's why I'm not talking about them in this video, or products that I tried out that I kind of am still getting to know, that I need to test out a little bit more, and maybe they'll make it to the favorites list next year. Who knows? I don't know. For today, this is best releases of the year, or just generally products that very easily made it to like top tier for me throughout 2021. So let's just get right into it. If you're curious about what's on my face currently, a number of them are my favorites that I'm going to talk about in this video. There should have been an Instagram post that went up with details on this look by now. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, it'll be linked down below. Also linked down below will be all of my favorites that I talk about today, so you can check them out for yourself. Any links with like a little asterisk next to them are affiliate links, which means I make a small commission off of your purchase if you use them. If you do, thank you in advance. If you don't, that's fine. You do not have to. It's literally just there if you want it. Okay. Also, I think I'll do timestamps down below so that you can skip around to whatever specific products you want to hear me talk about. I think that'll be a good idea. You guys seem to like when I do timestamps, so this is going to be a long description box. This is going to be a long video. Okay, anyway, let's get into it. I don't want to start this video off on a bummer note, but I kind of feel like I can't do this video without bringing up Becca. Obviously, in September, Becca Cosmetics did shut down, and most of their stuff is discontinued and you can't really get anymore unless you randomly come across it in a TJ Maxx or something like that. However, two staple Becca products are going to continue to be carried by Smashbox Cosmetics. They're actually, I think, available now. Phone is buzzing, sorry. I have my little list here. I think they're available now on the Smashbox Cosmetics site and Sephora. The first one I want to talk about is the Under Eye Brightening Corrector. Just a little kind of peachy, hello, sheer, luminous, beautiful color correcting concealer situation. I always wear a peachy kind of color corrector like this on my under eye area every time I do my makeup, even if I don't like mention it in my Instagram caption anywhere or whatever. I always have something like this on, and this formula is just lovely. It's so creamy, and it really, I've mentioned before, it just kind of reflects light in such a way. It has that luminous kind of finish, but it's not like you've got highlighter on your under eye, which isn't a fantastic look if you've got a very textured under eye like I do. It's just a beautiful, beautiful consistency, and it's available in 4 shades. So you can pick this up, and I would highly recommend. This is actually, is this the mini that I have? Yeah, this, I'm still using the mini size. That I mentioned this in this video. Yeah, there you go. But I do also have a full size sitting in my backup drawer. Because this was before we knew that Smashbox was going to continue to carry this product, so I panicked and bought a backup. The Becca products I'm about to talk about are all ones that I bought and fell in love with right before the end, because apparently I am a sucker for pain. Anyway, next thing, and this is one, I have quite a little collection of Becca pressed powder highlights, as a result of the bizarre bout of panic buying that I went through right before Becca shut its doors. The only shade that Smashbox is going to continue to carry is Champagne Pop, which really isn't that surprising because Champagne Pop was the best-selling shade. It was kind of the thing that I think put Becca on the map, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I remember back in the day, I didn't know what Becca was. I didn't know them as a brand until that highlighter came to be about. I think that was a lot of people's big introduction to Becca. So it doesn't surprise me that they kept that shade, but my feelings are a little hurt that they're not keeping any of the other ones. I'm wearing Moonstone today. I'm wearing one of their highlighters today. The shade Moonstone is just the perfect kind of light, but not super icy, champagne-y gold shade. It's just kind of perfect. Like one of my favorite highlighters that I own. The formula is really beautiful. So if you've been wanting to pick up Champagne Pop, good for you. You should do that. I don't have that shade. I don't plan on buying that shade. It's just never really, I've never been able to talk myself into actually buying it because it just looks a little too warm for me. I thought Moonstone was a good alternative, so I got that one instead. And there are a number of other highlights from them that are really gorgeous, unique, kind of shifty shades that I'm really, really sad aren't going to be available anymore. Yeah, so if you see me with a real poppin' highlight on my Instagram and don't see the highlight mentioned in the caption or whatever, because I always tag brands that I'm using on my face over there, just know it's probably a Becca highlight. Or it's a highlight from a brand that I'm not adding because I don't support them anymore. But that's honestly a conversation for another video. So yeah, we lost Becca, but we did also see some new brands emerge this year that have been very successful. And the first one I want to talk about is LYS. I do want to mention, and I did talk about this more in depth in the same video that I tagged up here a minute ago, I am a brand ambassador for LYS. That doesn't really sway my opinion of them and their products. So just know that even if I'm like affiliated with the brand in some way or not, you are getting my 100% honest opinion about their products, because I wouldn't sit up here and waste my time or your time talking about products that I don't think are good. So LYS is the first Black-owned clean beauty brand to launch at Sephora. It launched back in February. I talked about it in this. I need to do another recent releases video at some point here. It's been literally forever. I think this was the last one. That's wild. Anyway, I really like doing those videos. I need to get back into it. I had already tried the cream blush and had a pretty solid idea of what to expect from the brand and what I liked about them and their message before I decided to become an affiliate with them. First of all, the foundation is my favorite foundation now. It's been hard for me not to wear it, especially since also recently I've been testing out another foundation that I really, really, really have not been enjoying. We talk about that here. There you go. The Triple Fix Serum Foundation, if you're nervous about trying a serum foundation, this one really makes application and blending and all that as effortless as possible. It is so beautiful and luminous. Again, I just love a glowy, kind of more natural finish on the skin, and a solid choice for multiple skin types. If you're dry, I think you'll love this, and if you're oily, coming from someone who is combo oily, I get quite oily through the center of my face, in particular my T-zone area, this won't be too dewy for you. I love this. It's just a beautiful, lightweight, gorgeous formula. Honestly, cannot say enough nice things about that foundation. Also, the setting powder is quite nice. Again, lightweight, just kind of like a veil on the skin, not too powdery at all. Very lovely. That's what I want out of a setting powder, is I want it to not look like powder on my skin, and this one does exactly that. And quick mention to the powder highlighter. If you're a drier skin type, I might say try the liquid one first over this one, because I think, I know I've heard a couple people who have drier skin say they are not into this formula. Again, I have an oilier kind of skin type and I haven't had an issue with it. In fact, I think this is kind of a dreamy, beautiful formula. There's actually so many things about this formula that remind me of the Becca formula that I love so much. I'll have to come back to you with more complete thoughts about the liquid formulation. But yeah, this is just genuinely beautiful. Did not disappoint. Just a couple more base products to talk about here. The Kosas Cloud Set powder is everything I wanted it to be. It has a very similar kind of quality to the LYS powder that I just talked about. They're very similar in the way that they set the face without making you look flat or powdery or anything like that. It's just really lovely. Also, a product from Rare Beauty that I wound up really loving. The concealer. The concealer is so nice. I've heard a few people saying that it's too matte for them. And again, I think that really kind of comes down to skin type, because again, I have an oilier skin type and I've never really had that issue with it. So maybe if you have drier skin, this isn't going to be the move, but I personally have been loving it. First of all, the coverage is so impressive. I was kind of expecting this to be a lighter coverage, and it can definitely be sheared out to be light coverage, but you can very easily apply too much, so fair warning there. So I just use like a little bit of it, and it just stretches so far. A little really does go a long way. It doesn't settle into any lines or texture on my face, but it also doesn't look super like makeup-y, if that makes sense. You can tell, I have it on today. It just looks so skin-like and blends so seamlessly, and even though it's so high coverage, it's so lightweight and just so lovely. So I've been really enjoying this. On that note, also from Rare Beauty, a product that really actually blew me away is the liquid blush formula from them. This one is in the shade Bliss. I wore this so many times throughout the year of 2021. First of all, I'm surprised I like the shade so much, because it really is more peachy than I typically go for. Are we gonna do swatches? My hands look so fucking ugly right now, so I'm sorry in advance, but here's that. Oh, it looks so much more neutral in this light. Oh, there we go, it's warming up. It's described as a neutral pink. According to who, it looks so peachy on my skin. I'm not wearing it today, I don't know, I'm gesturing to my face. It looks so peachy on my skin in particular. It really is looking so neutral on camera. It is like a really perfect blend of peach and pink. It doesn't lean so warm that I'm like, ew, that's not for me, because I don't generally gravitate toward peachy blush shades. When I do, there has to be just enough pink in there. It has to be like a blend in order for me to be into it. And that's in the matte formula. I love it by itself. I love it under other blushes, because I do like to layer blush. Quick note, I have been so excited to try their dewy formula, the same blush line, and I kind of accidentally bought 3 of them because I got the shade Happy, which is a really bright, beautiful pink. Oh my god. See? See? I've been wanting to get this shade for a very long time, so I finally picked it up. I'm really excited to pop that on my face. But also, they came out with 3 new shades. I picked up 2 of the 3, and here's the thing. When you look at the shade description of them, in every other shade other than the 3 new ones, it tells you if it's a matte or dewy formula. With the 3 new ones, it doesn't say that. At least on Sephora, it doesn't. It just gives you like the actual description of the shades. So I didn't know if these 2 new ones, this is the shade Hope and Encourage. Oh, Hope is so beautiful. Oh, Hope is gonna be my jam for sure. Okay, they're actually both so beautiful. I can't wait to actually wear them in a look. I didn't know what finish they were gonna be when I ordered them. I was kind of going out on a limb. I just knew I liked the shades. And they are also both dewy. So I have 3 blush shades in the dewy formula to try at some point here. I'm just kind of assuming I'm gonna like the dewy formula because I liked the matte formula a lot when I really kind of wasn't sure if I would. So I think these are gonna be right up my alley. Again, super impactful, super pigmented, like alarmingly pigmented. A little bit does go a very long way. That kind of seems to be Rare Beauty's MO, and I'm really into it. Now let's talk about blush lights. The shade Nevermore that I have is a powder. It's still broken. If you were here for this haul video from January, it came to me broken and I never fixed it. It's still broken, so I'm not taking it out of the box, sorry. I also have two of the cream blush lights in the shade Honey Thief and Polished, which I've more recently gotten to try out, and they are just lovely. Exactly what I was expecting. I really like using the powder one as like a blush topper, like over top of another kind of peachier, warmer toned blush, cream, or powder, doesn't matter. And it just kind of gives the skin such an incredible glow. Like, this is just a product you pop on and then you don't really need to wear a highlighter afterwards, but it doesn't look too highlighty, in my opinion. It gives you a beautiful, soft focus kind of flush of color with this incredible, ethereal kind of glow, if that makes any sense. It's really beautiful. And the creams are simply lovely. They're like this silky, thin, lightweight texture. Polish is another one that you can kind of pop on and then not really need a highlighter with because it has a really lovely shimmer in it. Honey Thief does not have that shimmer. It's just kind of straight color, but it is just so dewy and gorgeous. Now let's talk about a formula that really had no business stealing my heart in the way that it did. I raved about the blush sticks from Makeup by Mario's brand in my last favorites video, so let me not go on again, but I got a second shade. This is the shade. In that video I mentioned there was another shade that I wanted to get that would, I hate when I do that. There we go. I mentioned that there was another shade that I wanted to get that was sold out. Both on Sephora and on the Makeup by Mario site. And then, one day, I got an email that the shade Dusty Rose was back in stock on Sephora, and I ran, did not walk, ran to go get it immediately. And then I also have the shade Pale Petal, which is the shade that I was going on about in my last favorites video. This formula is incredible. It genuinely is. The brushes actually work really perfectly. I'm wearing Dusty Rose on my face today because I could not wait any longer to put it on my face. And it is just perfection. I love these. These are a great product to start with. If you have been curious to try anything from Makeup by Mario's brand and you haven't been sure what to pick up first, I cannot recommend these enough because these are the first thing from his brand that I've tried, and they are so perfect, actually. Although, a powder blush formula that I've also really been loving. These little face quads from ColourPop, okay? Fucking excellent. In here, I also have another quad from them that's like 3 blushes and a highlight that I really don't think I've used it yet, because this is the Just a Flush cheek palette. It's got a bronzer, 2 blushes, and a Super Shock highlight. It's so fucking nice. I've been using this so much. Like, just kind of instinctively reaching for it whenever I do my makeup and I just kind of want like a soft, glam, mauve-y moment. Just a real low-key complexion situation. The blushes are so good. The bronzer I actually really like more than I was expecting it to. I thought it was going to be too warm, but it's nice. It really is. The only part of this that doesn't super excite me is the Super Shock highlighter situation. It's just because I don't love the Super Shock highlighter formula as much as I used to, unless it's flexitarian. For some reason, not all of the Super Shock highlights are formulated the same way Flexitarian is. And that's fine. It totally is. It just means it's a quarter of the palette that I'm not going to get a lot of use out of. But I also know that even though I don't love them as a face highlight, the Super Shock formula, it works really well for like the inner corner of the eye or as like an eyeshadow topper situation. I just feel like they're too sparkly for the face at this point. And it's not like I'm against a sparkly highlight, okay? They have a time and a place. It's fine. It's just not really what I'm going for these days, really. Can you guys hear how windy it is outside? Oh my god. This is going much faster than I thought. Let's talk about some eyes. Okay, so was such an easy decision. With a few of the other categories, I was like, no, I had a few favorites. Like, I can't talk about this one and not this one. Like, huh. But for the eyeshadow, there was a very, very clear winner. Although I do have an honorable mention, which we'll get to in a moment. Lethal Cosmetics. I took entirely too long to try out Lethal Cosmetics for the first time. I have here 2 custom palettes, okay, that I put together for myself with their eyeshadow singles. This one looks like a mess. It's explained here. Again, kind of like I just tried a lot of makeup in general this year, but I tried a lot of new to me eyeshadow formulas this year, and this one easily takes top spot for me. It's so good. Although the honorable mention that I want to throw in here is the Blend Bunny Cosmetics eyeshadow formula. I have the Surge palette. I just did a first impression of this palette. This very recently made it into my collection. I can't honestly, making a lot of noise, hang on. I can't like sit up here after having used it once and be like, this is one of my favorite products. But genuinely, I love this formula based on my first impression. And I'm really just very, very excited to keep playing with this palette, which to me is a very, very good sign. I feel like with eyeshadow, like there are a lot of products that you can't really trust your first impression of them on because you kind of need to work with them a few times to see what's up. But I feel like with eyeshadow, like when you know, you know, and with this one, I just know. So yeah, I'm mentioning this one as an honorary favorite because even though I used it once, it works hella good. I really liked it. Really like it. Can't wait to keep using it. And you know, it was still 2021 when I tried it, so mind your business. I don't know if you guys care about mascara, but the Act Natural Defining Mascara from ColourPop is really, really nice. I have it in the shades black and brown. I don't like the brown one as much, and I'm a fan of brown mascara. I just don't feel like it performs as well as the black one does. It's really, really a lovely formula, and I'm glad because the first mascara formula ColourPop came out with, easily one of the worst things I've ever tried, one of the worst products I've ever put on my eyes. So when they dropped this one, I was intrigued, and I'm glad that I actually like it. I genuinely am. However, top spot goes to the Bite Beauty Upswing Mascara. This is a mini size, don't at me. Don't pay for a full size of high-end mascara ever. There's no point, why would you do that? However, this formula, they can charge whatever they want for it. This is easily my favorite mascara formula of the year. I reached for this more than any other mascara in my collection. It beat out the Fenty mascara. The Fenty Beauty mascara, which was my favorite for such a long time. That mascara is really nice. It's still in my collection. I still have it on hand. Full disclosure, but I definitely used both of these more than that one, and this one I used almost non-stop. I almost couldn't stop myself from using this mascara whenever I did my eye makeup. It's just perfect. Like the Fenty mascara gives me that My Lash but better kind of vibe, just a lifting, lengthening kind of situation that I kind of need. The Kush mascara for Milk Makeup, which is also an old favorite of mine, gave me a lot of volume. Like when I wanted a chunky on purpose kind of lash, that's what the Kush mascara did. This is the perfect compromise between the two. Like this is literally my new kind of perfect mascara formula because it gives me a little bit of both. So for natural lash days, it's the ColourPop one for me, but on my more glam days, it's Bite Beauty all the way. Love both of these formulas. Oh my god. I have so many fucking lip glosses to talk about because I'm me. This is the last category though, so here we go. You guys know, because I've mentioned it a few times at this point, that the original Gloss Bomb formula from Fenty Beauty is like all-time favorite lip gloss formula. So I'm not gonna really talk about it in this video because that's always number one. Okay. However, throughout this year, I've tried a lot of formulas that came pretty dang close. The first one I want to mention is the Gloss Bomb Heat situation. I was not expecting this to work. When Fenty was like, whoa, we're coming out with a plumping lip gloss, I was like, okay. Because I just don't think plumping lip glosses work. I don't. I feel like I've always felt like it's a gimmicky thing. I naturally have pretty full lips, so maybe that's why. But when I tell you that the first time I tried, this is the first one I got. This is the shade Hot Cherry. Should I swatch them? Lip gloss swatches are kind of gross, aren't they? I already felt like I was pushing it with the creamy blush swatches. Anyway, this changed my mind about so many things. I rethought a lot of my prejudices against plumping lip glosses and products and whatever because of this formula. Because I actually saw it do something and I was like, oh. So yeah, if you're looking for a plumping lip gloss situation that actually plumps your lips, I would say check this formula out. I have the shade Hot Cherry and also Fussy Heat because Fussy is my favorite shade of the original formula. So when I saw they came out with the same shade in the plumping formula, I had to have it. There was no question in my mind. And I love it. I love both of these. They're really beautiful. They're not really pigmented. I mean, you can layer them up like with any kind of sheer lip gloss situation, but they just kind of add a sheer kiss of color to the lip. If you're curious about how much these like sting or burn your lips, like if that's a thing that generally turns you off from lip plumping products, I would kind of liken the feeling of these on the lips almost to the same feeling you would get like after eating spicy food, but it's not even actually to that level of intense, in my opinion. In my opinion. I'm a person who likes spicy food. If that's any frame of reference. I don't know. I want to talk about the Lunar Beauty lip gloss formula. It's really good. I understand why it's so many people's favorites. I don't agree with people when they say it's like the Fenty Gloss Bomb. I've talked about this before because I'm a pretentious asshole. I think that the formulas are actually very different. If you're looking for something that's a bit more slippy, is that the word I want to use? Look, it's a beautiful non-sticky lip gloss formula. This is in the shade Dreamy. I have another shade. I can't remember the name of it. It's also lovely, but it's quite a pale nude shade, almost like what I'm wearing today. Not quite, maybe a little lighter than this actually. And this isn't really typically a lip gloss shade that I gravitate toward, so I don't know why I picked that one up. Once upon a time, it was a lip gloss shade I would have worn a lot, so that kind of explains why. I just reached for this gloss, the shade Dreamy, a lot. Again, it's that perfect blend of peach and pink. It has a nice sparkle to it. Whenever I had a warmer makeup situation or like quite a more peachy blush shade on, this was what I put on my lips like 9 times out of 10. I tapped my blush swatches on myself. I love this dress too much to get blush on it. I want to make a mention of the Luxe lip gloss from the ColourPop and Raw Beauty Christie collection in the shade Glacier. The Luxe gloss formula might not be my favorite. I don't think it's a bad gloss formula. I think it's nice. It's just not my favorite. It is a tad bit, oh, that noise it just made. I don't want to swatch it right there. Hang on a second. It is a tad bit stickier than I generally enjoy. I swatched it right here on the heel of my hand. So while the formula is not my favorite, this shade is literally so nice. My battery's about to die. That was actually a really welcome little break. Give me an opportunity to wipe off all my swatches. It was getting a little dangerous there. Anyway, this shade in particular of this formula is really gorgeous. It's just clear base with a lot of champagne-y gold sparkle. Just kind of exactly the lip gloss shade you want to have on hand, because when it comes down to it and you don't know what else to throw on your lips with any given makeup look, this is a very good bet. I wore this gloss so many times, and I just love the effect that it gives to the lips. Could not recommend enough. I actually also have a backup of this in my backup drawer, because I never want to be without it. I never want to be out of it. So yeah, love, love, love. Also, quick shout out to the Tower 28 lip gloss formula. I think they're called lip jellies. I think there are two different formulas. I think there's a sheer formula and a milky formula. I think this one's from the milky formula, if I had to guess, based on the consistency of it and the pigmentation. This shade I've had since the beginning of this year. This was part of that haul video I did back in January. This is the shade Almond, by the way. It's like a cool brown nude. I recently got the shade Cashew, which is kind of a warmer nude situation. I think it's in the same formula as well. This is so nice. Like, if this was the only lip gloss formula in your collection, if this was the only lip gloss you were wearing like day to day kind of thing, you would be set. If you're into lip products that also actually kind of care for your lips as you're wearing them, these really are fantastic. Also, another quick mention to my little Kaja gloss shots. Again, I won't go on and on because I talked about these in the last favorites video. It's a really, really nice formula. If you've tried the Fenty formula or the Lunar Beauty formula and you really like either of them, you will also love the Kaja gloss shots. They're really, really nice. And the last product, not just in this category, but for this video that I'm going to talk about, also kind of a more recent discovery, but oh my goodness, if this lip gloss formula didn't just steal my heart right away. The glosses I'm talking about are the NYX This Is Milky lip glosses. This is milky. It's funny because I can remember a time when we would really be avoiding lip glosses that are described as milky, and now we're kind of leaning into it again, and it's just really interesting. The two shades that I have are Cherry Skimmed, which is the first shade, the first shade that I tried. It was another one of those things that I tried it for the first time and I was like, I cannot wait to put that on my face again, and I think that is enough to make it worthy of being called a favorite. And then I also picked up the shade Cookies and Milk, which is the lip gloss I'm wearing today. I quite enjoy it. Again, not a shade I typically gravitate toward, but I quite enjoy this. And again, I tried so many lip glosses this year. My lip gloss situation that I'm looking at right now is actually kind of ridiculous. I tried so many lip gloss formulas this year that were new to me. I've talked about a lot here that I really, really love. But these in particular really, really impress me. I think it, again, comes down to that first impression that I had of them. Like, that's kind of a common theme with a lot of the products that I talked about today, is that I wasn't sure if I was gonna like them. You know, I didn't know what to expect from them or whatever. And then, like, from the first time I tried them, I was like, these are incredible. And a lot of them wound up being products that I really genuinely love. So that does it for me today. These are like my standout makeup products for the year of 2021. And again, I tried so many products throughout 2021, and there are a number of products that I liked perfectly well and that I wish I used more throughout the year. There are plenty of products that I wish I could have included in this video. These are just the ones that I knew I had to mention because they very easily made it to favorite status for me. Anyway, that is enough out of me. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching, taking some time out of your day to hang out and listen to me talk about nonsense. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you and your loved ones are doing well and staying safe. Thank you again for being here and for watching. If you wouldn't mind giving this video a thumbs up or subscribing if you haven't already, neither are mandatory, but both would be highly appreciated. Be sure to check the description box for all the links that are pertinent to you before you go. Be kind to others, be good to yourselves, and I'll see you back here for the next one. Bye! I don't know about our lighting. That's definitely worse. We'll keep it right there. Today, we are talking about... In the interest of not being redundant, I'm gonna try to keep it, what is this? And there are another. What is happening with the buzzing? Stop buzzing. Ah! If that's a thing that generally turns you off from lip I did talk about everything. Okay, cool. Be sure to check the description box for all the stuff before you go. What the fuck?